Hey guys, welcome to the Real Estate Lunchbox. I am your host, Leon Duncan. I know I am running late. I'm running late. Yeah. This is Real Estate Lunchbox, where culture and real estate merge. And we do this Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon. If I'm not trying to help somebody take care of some business on their side, then I'm here on time. If not, most of the times it's helping realtors and other people, deal with what they got to deal with. Boy, I'm going to tell you right now, realtors are burnt out. Baby, they're burnt out. There's a lot of realtors quitting and getting out of business right now. And my thoughts on it is I think some of them probably need to get out. I think we need to have realtors that exit out of the business. Not all realtors need to be realtors. Some people became real estate agents. They became agents when the market was doing what the market does. There was a lot of money that was available and that was on the table, and these guys were grabbing it, and they became agents just because they needed to provide for their family, make some extra income on the side. But what I tell people is this: real estate is about sales. So when you become an agent, and if you don't know how to sell, why are you even becoming an agent? Why even doing this if you don't even know how to sell? Now you're wondering, Leon, you're wearing your glasses, you're in the house wearing your glasses. I just felt like chilling today, man. I just felt like really chilling, honestly. I don't have any place really to go today. I got work to do, but I'm doing everything at home, helping out some agents that call me, people that reach out, looking for some fix and flips for some of my clients. But I'm going to tell you like I know. These realtors are quitting the business in record time. The market is weeding itself out. At one time, it was cool to be a real estate agent. One time, they were telling you, hey, become an agent. You can make some extra money on the side. But things have changed. Things have changed for realtors. Things have changed for investors. Now, the smart realtors are evolving. They're pivoting. They've got systems and they got tools in place that help them navigate some of the stuff that's out here. But that's not true for all realtors. You got to realize that. And I realize more and more, I don't even like realtors. I've never liked realtors. I think I just did it because it was what was told to me to do, and I'm a sales guy, so I enjoy the business itself. But I don't really like realtors. So realtors are quitting, and I'm going to give you my input as we go through it. If you're a real estate agent, you do not have to quit. Before you even begin this, you can go ahead and go to the link in the bio, check out my Patreon, check out that store link. I've got something in there for real estate agents. It is the 6-figure blueprint, how I started working with investors, and it changed my life, took me into making 6 figures. And I'm going to tell you, investors are the ones with the most steady business right now. They're iffy, they're anny, but at the end of the day, you can close more deals with them than you can just running around trying to put the next buyer into your car. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm feeling it good today. Realtors are quit. Let's go.
I'm in recovery from a very long month of major real estate burnout. Yep, it happened to me finally. Hit me hard. I did not want to work. I didn't stop working, but I didn't really want to. But I guess I'm just talking about this because it's going to happen, especially if you're a newer agent or really new in any career. It's easy to get burnt out because you might not be getting the results as fast as you want to get them, and even though you're working really hard. So yeah, it's okay. It's going to happen. You just got to do what you got to do to get out of it. Hopefully it doesn't last a whole month.
Being a realtor is, I'm driving to my closing, big fluffy coat, looking like a hot shot, right? The reality is that I haven't had a closing since September, and your girl is broke. I'm literally driving my dirty ass car to my closing because I can't afford to get a car wash. I'll show you.
I'm going to tell you, some realtors actually don't close. The average statistic of realtors closing deals, I think on average, most realtors close 1, probably 2 deals in a year. Yeah. They quitting right about now.
Bird poop, whatever the heck. I have no idea what is on that or how dirty. Tell, but it's dirty. It's really dirty. So I'm really excited to afford a car wash after this.
Well, as of this Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in 3 days, I will no longer be a realtor. I now know why people say horrible things about realtors and
Horrible things, exactly.
don't want to work with them.
Really?
And I am not crying over spilt milk because I did quite well as a realtor. But what I don't like and can't work with is the unethical, underhanded, backstabbing people, some realtors, especially on the Sunshine Coast, British Columbia.
I'm burnt out from real estate. Let's talk about it. I will officially be a licensed real estate agent for a year in March, and I am so discouraged right now. And I don't know if this is just like a phase or if this is just how it's going to be. And it's been basically my whole entire career has been like, no, no's. Then there's a few yeses. And I'm just like, is that the career itself? Is it going to be more no's than yeses? Or is there going to be a breakthrough? Am I going to get some more clients as I continue in my business? Which logically, yes, that would make sense. As you build your business, you're going to get more clients. But real estate is sales. A lot of people aren't buying a home every single day. So I just don't know. Is there going to be a breakthrough where it's oh, I can actually breathe? I'm not having to do side jobs plus balance real estate and exhaust myself just to make it through so I can pay my bills for 1 month.
Realtors right now are emotionally drained by this market. It is slow, but this is what I'll say.
Well, I'm going to tell you, first of all, real estate agents don't know how to build businesses. That's one reason. Nobody comes into real estate knowing how. Well, some people come in, and I've seen people come in with MBAs. Yeah, MBAs to be realtors. And if you're listening to this and you're trying to be a realtor, just go pick up that 6-figure PDF that I got right there. It's a free giveaway just to help y'all navigate and get y'all used to working with investors, because that's where real money lies. I know y'all don't like it, but at the end of the day, they don't know how to build businesses. And because you don't know how to build a business, you just come in to make some fast cash. A man and his money will soon be separated. Yeah, something like that. But building a business with actual pillars, spokes, and not being such a professional. I am a marketer. I have the expertise of it because I was doing the expert side of being an agent, being a broker, an investor, an agent, putting that together. But I prefer being a marketer. I prefer bringing you the content and telling you what you should and should not be doing. Other realtors aren't able to pivot.
In any endeavor in life, there is a pile of shit that you have to eat to get through. And on the other side of that pile is success.
I believe that there's 3 ways to live life. There's culture's way.
Now check his way out. I prefer his way because honestly, there is a pile of that people go through to be real estate agents. That's true. To do any business, there's a pile of piss you go through and you go through to actually get to that point. But let's be for real. Some people go through more than others. Some people don't have to go through all of that. Some people just figure it out, or they not even figure it out. Some people have a good blueprint to build off of. So it's less of that pile. Somebody went through the pile before they got down here. But these dudes are quitting. They're quitting and getting out. And it's going to be more money for the ones that stay in. I'm just telling you.
Which is the world. There's the church's way, which is religion.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the king's way, and that's Jesus and the Bible. And unfortunately, there are many Christian real estate agents and mortgage loan officers that are exhausted, burned out, worn out, confused with an inconsistent business, and that's because they're building it the wrong way. Too many believers in this industry are operating just like the world, working nonstop, chasing everybody and everything, trying to force outcomes, and wondering why there's no peace, there's no clarity, there's no consistency in their business. And hopefully you don't scroll past this video, because I just simply want to give you a better way. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to stop working 7 days a week. And I've said this before in another video, and I'm going to continue to say this because it has to be said. You were not designed to grind nonstop. You need a holy rhythm. Rest is not laziness. And you actually are being productive when you rest, because that's when all your ideas come. That's
God rested on the 7th day. You guys got to understand, this grind mentality that we have, it's been embedded in us, and it's due to the rat race. Whether you're a realtor, you're in sales, whether you just work at the gas company, it doesn't matter. But This mentality has been put in place, and people get on the treadmill and they run it, and they do it in realtors. Real estate agents do it worse because when you get a check that's 5, 6, 7, 10,000, some people never had a check like that at one windfall. You forget that it took you probably about 30 or 60 days to actually get the person, another 30 days to put them out there, and then you probably, if you're good, you can do it in that 30 days, get them under contract. Then you get them under contract. You still got to wait 30 days for it to close. Unless you're working with investors, pick up that PDF. Investors close stuff. I've had investors close stuff. Listen, we need to close by the end of the week. I'm like, hell yeah, let's get the title done, bro. But yeah. The grind has to be changed. We got to approach it differently because you wasn't designed to grind.
When your creativity comes, that's when God can speak to you. That's when the Holy Spirit can move. All while you busy doing this and doing that and all over the place and scrolling like crazy and trying to check your email and calling all these people and prospecting, man, you eventually got to bring that to a stop. And that's a discipline. That's something you have to make yourself do, because in this industry, we have been trained to be on go 7 days a week for 24 hours. And that simply just isn't the King's way. When you work 7 days a week, your decisions usually get worse. Your clarity drops off, your emotions begin to take over, and structure usually goes out the window. So,
hey man, follow this cat. What is this? Is GWESTJR. I'm gonna put his info in when I'm gonna chop this up to a smaller point because he nailed it. I wish I could pour this into every person that I've mentored in real estate, every person that I've talked to. All you new agents out there, take it from a 20-year vet. What he's saying is the way you run real estate, you run sales, the way you run tech, anything that you involve dealing with the public, collecting information, money from them, and exchanging a value for something exchanging your value for their cash, you have to not be chasing the bag. Oh no. And that is the new thing. Like that is the thing. It should have been the thing, but the money was flowing and everybody was jumping in it. I mean, I've seen agents making 20, 30, 50,000 in a month. But this is the reality, and I'm not going to scream your head off, man. At the end of the day, you got to change your practices. And this is for the person that's the mom and she's working two jobs. She's got that main job. She got that slide hustle. You got to find a way to find rest. You got to rest.
I want you to stop working 7 days a week. I want you to work for 5 or 6. I want you to give yourself at least one day where you ain't checking your email, you ain't scrolling on social media, you're not texting clients back, you're not calling clients, you're not reaching out to realtors to get them updates. This is a day for you. It's a day for your family, and it allows you to structure your week with intention. I want you to work hard, right? I think when people hear rest, they think, you want me to do nothing? No, I don't want you to do nothing. I kind of want you to do nothing for 1 day a week. Give your brain, give your body, give your nervous system a break, because the reset is what's actually going to get you the results that you want. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to get clear on who you're supposed to be helping, because believe it or not, everybody is not your assignment. There are 350 estimated million people in America, and I can assure you, you ain't supposed to help all 350 million. And that is where most people in this industry go wrong. That you trying to help everybody only to end up helping nobody. And months are going by and you're not closing deals because you're not clear. And the reality is God did give you an assignment. If you are supposed to be in this field, he gave you an assignment and he has a sphere of influence stored up for you. But you got to submit and surrender to that. And you got to seek that out of him. When you see,
oh God, that boy cooking. He cooking.
Clarity on who you're supposed to serve, your messaging begins to get sharper. Your confidence will increase. Your business becomes more focused. And then now you can start setting boundaries on who you're not going to deal with, because clarity removes confusion. Yeah. 3, and last but not least, is you need to embrace obedience, consistency, and faithfulness. We all know that these are kingdom principles. You don't need a new strategy every week. You don't need 50 different mentors. You need to execute on what you already know. The thing
I'm gonna clip him right there, and I'm gonna say, listen, what's more important than any of that? Like biblical obedience in the New Testament Testament is obedient to the faith, and the faith is you are made in the image and likeness of God, and because that is the faith, you are obedient to that, being in his image, his likeness, resting in that, and going back to that for answers and questions that you may have. Not your broker, not the agent next to you that's struggling, trying to figure life out. They're trying to figure out how to put a round peg in a square hole. This is only for the people that need it. Not all of y'all want to hear this. Not all of y'all need this. This is only for the people that really do need it. I'm telling you, because not everybody's designed to be in this space. And when you get into this space, the best thing you can ever do is learn how to pivot and how to move in this space correctly, because it will drive people insane. It drives so many people insane right now. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. But I've seen agents doing all this other stuff. Agents are quitting. You have to decide that you are not going to quit, that you're not going to give up. And I tell people, if you want to be an agent and you have fortitude, and you know you can sit back and say you feel like God is leading you into that space or leading you into that position, go follow God. Follow it. The worst thing that can happen is that you can be successful. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll learn how to actually walk with him better than you will just doing any old thing. The risk and the confidence to walk in that risk requires you to take risks. When you take risks, you're like, oh, I can do this. I can. You're going to burn out in this space if you do not slow down and have a moment that you are able to just be in the presence of God. You're not. So realtors are quitting because it's not just the National Association of Realtors that has done us wrong, that board. Yeah. That's why now you got to go ahead and negotiate again for your commission. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. That wasn't the fact about a year ago. Now it's changed, and it made it harder for realtors. It made it harder but less realtors mean more money. I'm not lying. Do I want people to quit? Yeah, I do, because I don't believe everybody's designed to be in that space. And there will come a day that I will quit and hang up the tassel also. Oh no. I've been saying that 20 years. I can quit tomorrow. I done did 20 years. I'm good. I've learned so much, sold so much. Listen, guys, I want you to listen to this and take this from the heart. Okay? It's not over when real estate leaves your space. There's so many other things that you can do with the skill set that you developed or that you learned in real estate. You just have to pivot into that place.
This is for other real estate agents. If you're not an agent, go ahead and keep scrolling. Do y'all ever get like anxious, like you're not doing enough, like you don't have work to do right now, but there should be something you're doing, but you can't think of what to do to help your business? I had a closing in October and November, and then I've done a rental in January and February, but I don't have any other work to do. I have a couple clients coming through my pipeline, but they're not ready yet. So I'm just sitting at home today. Don't have any work to do. Apparently, I don't know how to de-stress because I feel like I need to be doing something productive. And if I'm not doing something productive, I feel like an absolute lazy piece of shit. Am I the only one?
I've been seeing multiple people on TikTok, multiple realtors say that they're getting out of the business. And this is no shame to you at all. This is a tough business, especially because so many people got licensed back in 2020 during the pandemic. And back then it was kind of easy money. It really was, because there was so much movement in the market. But now when we're in a slower, tougher market, and especially if you don't have a dual income, it can be really challenging.
A lot of really good agents are feeling very tired. Not because they're lazy, but because they're carrying a lot of uncertainty. Agents are hearing mixed messages, they've got no clear direction, and they have a constant pressure to just figure it out. And all of that in combination is way more draining and exhausting than a slow market ever could be.
The reason why agents have to figure this out, and I've told people this, real estate is a pimp first business. They pimp you first. A lot of people want to buy properties, and I applaud the people that want to be homeowners. They want to sell their house and move to a smaller place. All those are great. Then you get the ones that want to be investors. Then you get the ones that want to be agents so they can learn how to be investors. My message to you is all of this is pimps people out, bro. Like, you got to realize the American dream is not owning a house anymore. That thing died, I think, with my parents. My parents didn't die, but that died back in the 80s, the 90s. It barely made it to 2000. The reason why some people own homes now is because they got children and they need to be solid and set in one place. But if they don't have to, and they can do a bunch of other things like Padsplit and all this other place, it's different. The times are changing. You cannot sell enough as a real estate agent, just being an agent, to live under that unless you're running a team. And if you're running a team, agents, I keep telling you guys, what's going to happen to you is that you don't have the systems and the tools put in place. You will burn out. Even as an agent, if you don't have the systems, the tools, a direct message, who you're targeting, your avatar, this is a business building piece. And the sad part is brokers don't care. They only care about how much money they can take from you. They only care about the last sale that you made. That's one reason why you're burnt out. They're teaching you how to be sales agents, not to be business people, not to be marketers, not to be influencers, not to draw people to you and attract people. They teaching you how to chase them. And they charging you money for it. And you going for it, learning how to do stuff backwards. Yeah, that's what it is.
So she just popped up on my feed and went on a completely understandable rant. Her ad is right there. I suggest you go watch the full video. I'll also tag it down below. But basically, she was saying she's burnt out, losing her spark, going through the motions. She dreads the idea of cold calling people because they yell at her, saying that working hard simply isn't enough nowadays. She even brings up the idea of getting side jobs just to be able to pay her bills. Just wanted to go on a little rant because of that rant. What pisses me off the most is there's people in the comments, right, saying, "Oh, you just got to dial more. You just got to work harder. Keep on going. It gets better. Oh, dial. 10+ hours a day. Dial. Work more. It'll happen for you. This is just a phase." I'm just so sick of seeing this generic and traditional advice. This is advice that would have worked 20 years ago. It doesn't work now. You can choose to believe me or not, I don't care. But you're not going to get exceptional results or even results that you actually wanted to get if you're doing the exact same thing as everybody else. Especially since the idea that competition is growing at an extremely fast rate is true. It's no longer an idea anymore. You have to learn how to separate yourself from everybody else.
You gotta learn. And a lot of agents don't know. Nobody taught them how to actually do it. And for that particular reason, they find themselves, and I hate to see it. I mean, it's a sad thing to see, but they find themselves struggling against the grain. Agents don't adapt to technology. They don't want to do anything other than make phone calls. They just want to sell. They want people to go do the prospecting for them and give them the lead to do the sell. Y'all are really driving me bananas. I discovered in this thing, I do not like agents. I've been an agent for 20 years, a broker for about 15 of those years, 17 of those years. And I don't like y'all. I have never liked y'all. It is painful watching people getting to this business and then turn around and when I talk to them, no manner of sales, no soft skills. Check out the video I did on soft skills. I didn't get enough views on that video. The one skill that people need, and it's the one skill that realtors need, is the one skill I feel like the black community needs, is the one skill if you in sales you need. Every time I see people exhibit soft skills that approach me to sell a product or a service, I'm very impressed. I grew up with the Brian Tracy. I grew up with there's a bunch of other ones I can name. I grew up with that. So I was always listening to that. And not everything was right, but the thing that was right was, damn. If you're going to serve people, have a great behind attitude.
Congratulations. Well done.
I just gave you the keys to the kingdom and you will ignore it. Y'all will ignore it. See, I believe right now, realtors should be converting over to being influencers and marketers if they haven't already. They should be building the systems using AI a lot of them haven't already. They scared of it. They only know how to make pictures with AI. That's it. You make a picture or video, post it online. Oh. I'm sad. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to start a 40+ realtor AI channel. I'm going to do that because I need to help y'all. And I'm probably not just gonna make a realtors. I'm just probably gonna make, because I use it, and then I sit here and I talk to you about real estate lunchbox. I talk to you about events that's going on. We do commentary. We look at reaction videos. But damn, I tell people and I can't keep saying enough, to navigate this storm we're going through in the world economic system, you have to learn other skills. And one of the biggest skills is selling. Selling is the foundation of entrepreneurship. It's the foundation of building a business. Y'all say y'all want to build generational wealth. Selling is the skill that gets you there. It's so many parts that you got to learn how to sell. You got to learn how to stand in front of somebody, look them in the face, tell them what they need to know, tell them when what they're telling you is wrong. Take it from a 20-year vet. 20 years. I'm only going to tell you what I know. You can do whatever the heck you want to do, because I've been at the bottom, been at the top, been in the middle. I've experienced all those different seasons and changes. That's why I got happy when they said Bitcoin was going to be used now for to be able to buy houses. You can use that now in your cash reserve for Bitcoin. No lie. I had to call my lender after this. I had to call my lender before I did this. Before I even brought this story up, I said, man, I got to call my lender. I got to see if this is true, if this is true on the investing side. Let's go.
There was major movement at the federal level, I would say, related to Bitcoin. Last week, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were ordered to treat crypto as a mortgage-worthy asset. I think this is huge. This is crazy to me. I just can't. This wasn't even on my radar. It's probably just a lack of breadth in terms of my news diet, so I didn't see this coming. But the U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William J. Pull issued a directive on June 25th instructing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to explore incorporating cryptocurrencies into single-family mortgage loan risk assessments. I think this is a huge deal. It's also a notable departure from the long-standing practices that required crypto assets to be liquidated prior to consideration.
So let me pause it right here, because this is another video, and I want to make sure I cover all of it. Okay, so what they're talking about is, if you don't understand, prior to this, and I had a friend of mine who did this too. Well, he was a friend at that time. Right now, I stay away from him. When you get the feds come knocking on your door, listen, I ain't got nothing to say, my nigga. Oh, no. Nothing. I don't want nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, I distance myself from him, because some people, they present themselves as one thing and they're completely other. Let me get back to this. He used Bitcoin to buy his house in Buckhead. Back when Bitcoin was, I think it was trading at under $100 or $150. Yeah, he was ahead of the time. Very forward-thinking guy. That's probably why the feds got him. But he used that to buy his house. He used to buy his car, old Ferrari, vintage, all that different stuff. We had to liquidate Bitcoin into cash in order to purchase it. He used it. The guy who bought it actually took Bitcoin as a payment back then. That's really weird. I think the guy made more now. He got the best bet if he kept that Bitcoin, if he held onto it, or any portion of it. He definitely made away like a bandit. What they're saying now is that the lenders will recognize your reserve that you have in Bitcoin. So if you have Bitcoin parked in your cold storage wallet, which you should, don't have it on any type of exchange platform. If you do, you're really walking yourself into a bad situation. But let's get out of that. Focus more on this. That liquidity, which I don't understand how they're going to stabilize the liquidity, because Bitcoin fluctuates. And to give you guys a heads up on what the market looks like, and I normally do this before I started the show, but I just jumped in hot, right? 68,979 is what Bitcoin is trading at right now. I bought some Bitcoin this morning. I advise you, buy some digital assets, buy some hard assets. Gold, $4,396. Silver's at 67. It's still in that $60 mark. I was buying it when it was 25, 30 bucks. I would just suggest you do that, because it's still undervalued. They're using gold, silver, and now Bitcoin as assets that show your liquidity, which is powerful. That means you don't have to go sell it and take the tax implications, the hit of the tax implications, which boy, I tell you, on the appreciation of your coin. And what that simply means is if you bought the coin and you bought $50 worth of Bitcoin and it goes to $100, you pay taxes on the $50 that it appreciated. You don't have to do that no more. You can use your Bitcoin to satisfy your liquidity. I think it's better. I think it's dope. I think especially if it's something you don't want to liquidate, you don't really need to, you just need to show it for cash. I think that's dope. I think that's really cool.
So you take the assets and you turn them into something a little more stable for that. Now, I think there are caveats. So the assets need to be verified and held on U.S. regulated centralized exchanges.
Yeah,
can't
so
have
there's
these in
no
self-custody.
Can't have them in self-custody. Can't have them in an offshore exchange. They basically have to be on like Coinbase or Gemini.
Ooh, that's the only part I don't like. I like it to be in my cold storage. The problem with the exchanges on Coinbase and Gemini is they can be hacked. We've seen them hacked before. I hope that they have some other way to kind of validate that. And if, I was brought into the conversation, I would say Bitcoin is on the block exchange and it's transparent. We're going into a stage of transparency. You can learn anything from OpenAI. You can learn anything from AI. AI stands right next to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the whole blockchain is transparent. It's a really transparent. There are people that can find how much you have in your crypto exchange wallet. Okay. And so these things are out here. They can track it. Why not use these assets to be able to purchase property, purchase homes? Why not? I wouldn't use it to buy it, but I would show it as the ability to sustain it if necessary. And I think that's a very important thing. It's going to bring a lot more buyers into the market for sure. And some of y'all chasing generational wealth. I know I keep stopping and starting this. Yeah. You don't have to get in real estate to chase real estate is actually the thing you do after you've built several streams. And I've spoken about that before and I will continue to speak about it. I know some of y'all love my reaction videos, but it's not without substance because this is the substance portion, which some people ignore. But I've spoken about it. This is the fastest way to start building that generational wealth. These are digital assets, hard assets that nobody can steal from you if you put it in the right lock and key in the right order. Okay? If you can, and then you can use the appreciation from those assets to buy real estate. Yes, you can. And we see how this is changing and making it easier for the mom and pop to do it.
No secret that buying a house is expensive. The average sales price for a U.S. home has hovered around $400,000 since the end of 2021. For most people looking to cover the cost, that means taking out a loan. And that means letting a bank pore over your financial details, your salary, bank balances, retirement accounts, all to determine how much you can afford and how risky it is to lend you the money. And if you're among the 15% of Americans who invest in digital assets, you haven't been able to include them when applying for a mortgage, but that could soon change. A June directive issued by the Federal Housing Finance Agency ordered mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to develop proposals to consider crypto as an asset in single-family home risk assessments.
It helps normalize crypto, helps to legitimize cryptocurrency, which I think helps the president's agenda.
I think you got to take it as political more than substantive is the way I would put it.
Regulatory uncertainty, volatility, and the inability to easily verify reserves has kept most crypto out of the mortgage underwriting framework. But that could all change with this directive, a landmark shift for the U.S. housing finance system.
The lender would look at the assets that a potential borrower has, and before they might have only considered stocks and bonds and those traditional kinds of investments, but now they would consider those less traditional cryptocurrency investments. And it might be a bit difficult for them to assess the riskiness, but I think they're used to assessing the riskiness. There are stocks that are even more volatile and risky than some long-standing cryptocurrencies. So I think for the lender, it would be pretty easy for them to adapt their framework to incorporate crypto into that.
The move from the FHFA found immediate backing from a Republican lawmaker in D.C. who introduced a bill to codify the directive into law. But the proposal from the Federal Lending Agency also received criticism from those who argue backing loans with crypto could add new stress to the home lending market.
So this is my personal opinion. Okay? This is not advice. You can use it and do whatever you want to. I truly believe that the suppression that's taken place in our market, the recession, all these different things can be solved easily by letting these assets into the market, so the everyday person like you and me, who may not buy stocks, and I buy stocks too, will have the ability to buy an asset that the volatility of that asset can play in their favor. Volatility is not bad. It's just depending. It just depends on where you sit in that volatile seesaw. If you're the person who's holding a volatile asset, now you can position yourself through that volatility to earn on the upside. Yes, it goes down, but if this is not how you just live, if all your money is not tied into it, if you have a certain amount of your assets in it, then this may be the way for you to start saving for a house. I truly believe that Bitcoin will run to 100, 200, 300,000. The more they have the halving, and if you don't know what that is nothing more but cutting the amount of Bitcoin that's actually on the market. It can play to your favor. Bitcoin, digital assets, crypto, and AI, to me, is the way for the average person right now to change their state. Don't get tied up with, I gotta get a property, I gotta buy real estate. That is one-sided. Look at it large. Look at it bigger, because you buy real estate, you still got to be able to maintain it to keep it. And there's a lot of cost that goes to maintaining real estate. I'm telling you that I couldn't even cover all of that in this from the taxes, the rentals, all these things. This will change it. Everybody should be applauding. Hold on one second. Hold on. No, don't do that. No. Oh no. Hold on. Yeah, where's my applause?
Congratulations. Well done.
Hold on.
Amazing.
Hell, I think my son probably took it off. God, you can't let people play with your stuff. These kids, they think they know everything. Erase my applause. I was gonna give you an applause for that, because you need applause. Y'all need applause. Y'all need. Some of y'all get this. Some of y'all really, really get this, and I love the fact that y'all get it. We got to reach back to the people that don't, because there are communities that need it. To me, I realized when Venezuelans were holding a lot of their money in Bitcoin because of how volatile it was, because they can get them out, and they knew their currency was debased. It wasn't nothing going with it. They can put that money into Bitcoin and not lose. And I'm not going to spend all day on this, because I know this is heavy for some people. I'm just letting you know. This is going to change the game. All you guys that have been trying to get homes, trying to get properties, this may just be the solution for you. This may change how you handle it. Now, it's not in effect yet, but I can tell you, Trump has already, we're literally right there. Literally. Now, there's other sides to this too. I do believe Trump is pushing this because he literally has a Bitcoin farm. He literally has a cryptocurrency farm mill. Yeah, you guys don't know about it. I know he does. I've seen it. But what do you expect? We're going to go digital. We already are right at that place. Please get out of the old way of thinking. Get into the new way of thinking. Check out this story right here. Let's go.
A lesson worth more than any textbook? Well, 39 states are now making a change, mandating courses on personal finance over generic economics. The courses include teaching students about 401ks, paying their credit cards, and mapping out their loan payments. I mean, this feels like a no-brainer to me. Research from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York backs it up, showing students who learn personal finance actually make better decisions, paying down.
I'm on my soapbox again. This is necessary. We're late. We're behind the 8 ball as a country, as individuals, because the only way you can teach your children this is if you know it. And a lot of people don't know it. So if you don't know it, how can you teach them? And my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So how do they learn financial education Personal finance, they're not learning it in school. School isn't designed to teach personal finance. Economics is different than personal finance. Completely different. You study completely different. If they don't get it at home, they got to get it from somewhere. And one of the most powerful things that I got from my aunt and my uncle, I lived with them for some years. My mom said, hey, you're just getting in too many fights in Philly. You need to get out. Oh, no. You need to go somewhere and do something different. I was like, I'm a senior in high school. What do you mean I need to get out? Go somewhere and do something different, like what? He said, come and live with me. My dad and my mom let me go. I lived with them. I found out about Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it changed my life. And it wasn't so much just the book, but it was the game, the cash flow quadrant game, to the point that years later, when it became digital on iPad, they had an app. I downloaded it and I played it. I gave it to my kids to play. I even bought the game itself, the board copy. I'm like, we need to play this to understand how to build and create assets. How do you go about getting out the rat race? They don't want you to know this. You got to realize when I say they, I'm not speaking about somebody sitting down. This is not a Trump conversation, none of that. This is literally the system that educates you and educates your children. They don't want you to know it. Why would they want you to know it? When you know it now, you're going to be more cautious in who you vote for. You're going to be more perceptive in where your money goes. You will handle it different. And I tell people, listen, you got to understand this is your destiny. Like God wants you to be able to have these things and know these things so you can be a blessing to other people. I don't care what nobody tells you. Nothing moves without the money. But the money isn't the source of everything moving. That's a little confusing right there. But we know in the world nothing moves without it, but it's not truly the source for people to evaluate it. And we want to be in the best position. So I'm always for getting better with credit, understanding what credit situations look like, how to read it, how to improve it, things like that. And I think that this will actually change the game. Look at me, I'm talking too much.
Debt, refinancing, and building real stability. This is one I got to come to you first on, Kevin, because the most successful business person at the table right now. How did you learn finance? Where was it? Was it in school or in the industry when you actually started working?
Well, I used to work in education, providing all the software to 110,000 school buildings in America. We did nothing except advance math and reading scores for testing to get into college eventually through the high school system. So we never did any finance. I learned all my financial knowledge from my mother. Mm-hmm. So, she kind of gave it to me when I was maybe 15 onwards. Yeah. Families generally did that, but we are loath to give, because it was really credit card debt that kills kids when they get their credit card at 18. Mm-hmm. And Florida was the first state to bring that in to lower school. And then New York, then Texas, then California.
I remember I was chasing a credit card when I got out of high school. I was like, yo, can I get a credit card now? They was like, whoa. Do you know what this is going to do? Whoa. These are the topics I think that I know that we should be requiring of the people that we elect to our local districts to advocate for us and to push. So it's all 50 states and not just 39 states. Because once that's there, it changes the foundation that we build off of as families. And I'm going to always say for my Black people, it's going to change that foundation because you only know what you know. I have a lot of people come to me for real estate and they want to get into it. And you can learn but so much on YouTube, but you only know what you know. It really takes somebody that has walked that path to say, don't do this, do that. Same thing with finances. Don't do this, do that. Don't do this, do that. And I can't even have teachers teach it. Honestly, I'm a believer. I mean, why would you learn from somebody that only makes 30, 40,000 a year and they don't really have that? And if they let them do it, I want to see what their retirement portfolio looks like. To me, that's the qualification for somebody teaching me something like that or teaching my kids something like that in school is a requirement. But we rather talk about all this other stuff. We rather focus on all these other meaningless things that don't mean anything. The biggest thing you can do in this season is to put the freaking blinders on and run like heck. Absorb all of this stuff that's coming. Try to participate. Don't just absorb it, absorb, do. Because the future belongs to the doers. It doesn't belong to the people who are the watchers, who are the talkers, it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the doers. That's why if you want to create content, go ahead and click the link below in the description. Oh, you get my 60 days to monetize. Dude, we just hit 2,000 subscribers. Okay? And I want to show you how I monetize in 60 days. Or less. It was actually less, but hey. But hey, these are the things I'm talking about. So your income isn't just based on that job. And you understand the finances, they go way past just that 9 to 5. Trading time for money.
And still today, we don't have the teachers to teach it.
Yes.
Because,
look at that.
And I get so much abuse when I say this. We don't need a union for teachers. We need merit-based hiring. And there's so many great teachers that aren't paid what they're worth, and so many really, really bad ones that are still hanging in, that have those jobs, that are crushing the poor students they're teaching.
Yeah.
I can't say enough bad stuff about it. Okay, bring on the abuse. Let's get all those.
I'm not going to abuse you. I'm the son of a school teacher, and I would agree with you wholeheartedly. My mom, slaved away for 32 years working in a profession where she wasn't rewarded for the efforts that she put in. And
most valuable job we have in society. They should. A good teacher should make $1 million, and I would want to pay them more, merit-based.
I don't know about $1 million. You know what? Let me take that back. He's right. To a degree, he's right. Because the people who teach our children, honestly, they are regurgitators of information and givers of structure. And now that's over some people's head. When I say regurgitators of information, I hope you get that. They're just telling you what they learned in a book. Givers of structure, that means they're just telling you, or systems, they're just telling you about the structure and the system to actually learn. And then a lot of times, they don't even convey that information in the most effective way, because knowledge and information is moving fast. The ability to learn and what you learn, shifting and changing. I'm pleading with kids in school that my kids, they're in college. I'm like, yo, you don't need to be sitting here waiting to get out and have a degree and just make money off of that. You need to be building now. But that's financial education. Financial education shows them to look. You're going to be looking now because you understand how money flows to opportunities that are out there. And there are so many damn opportunities right now. I get excited. I might just spin around in the chair. Oh, let me stop that. Let me stop. Because I might mess around and hit something. Oh, man, they're going to get me already with this. I know they're going to be like, Leon, what the hell was you doing on that stream? I'm just trying to.
And a bad teacher should be gone.
What do you think of this former teacher, professor, and this gap, right? There's no pre-qualifications to teach personal finance. Does that impact outcomes potentially?
Well, I mean, people who would be good at teaching personal finance don't want to go through the grinder of becoming a public school teacher because it's a waste of time. They just want to teach a class, right? Let them come in and do it. I think that's why you don't get the best people teaching these classes. I mean, ultimately, I think you should have people taking both economics classes and personal finance classes. The problem is, in public schools, economics classes are increasingly taught with this really heavy Keynesian equity bent to it. And so you'd say, oh, good, students learn economics. No, they're not. They're learning like a Marxist ideology masquerading as economics, and it actually destroys their ability to make good financial decisions. So I see personal finance as a way around that. Forget about the theory.
And most of what they learn is theory. Most of what I learned in college when I was in there was theory. I said, I'm going to finish my degree and I'm offline and I'm learning steady.com. That's a plug for steady.com. Listen, I done completed a bunch of courses and credits on steady.com. But as I'm reading, I'm like, this is all theory. This is all theory. And it took this old Jewish guy to say, Leon, come here. Let me show you something. And I've had those type of teachers because I've humbled myself. You know the scripture, humble yourself before the Lord, and he will exalt you in due time, casting all your cares on him. Yeah, I know this stuff off the top of my head. Yeah. Because you humble yourself to him, he brings the teachers around you. we're not deficit in money. You're not deficit in money. Your money isn't a deficit thing. It's not the money. You're a deficit in a good teacher. That's what you're lacking. Good teachers will make it plain and simple for you to understand. Let me take this off. You ain't getting this. You're not lacking money. You're lacking good teachers to show you how to do what you do. And there's some great teachers on YouTube. I follow a couple of them for AI, even for real estate. Yes, I'm constantly learning, creating content, all these different things. There are good teachers out there. You have to find a good teacher that connects with you for personal finance, that your spirit is settled with. And when you listen to them, it goes ding, 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 ding. And you get, yeah, I got it. I got that. Like I understand more now. The Bible says, what, in all you're getting, get understanding. I think that's in Proverbs, right? So you understand more. The more you understand, the more you can execute. And the reason why our kids fall asleep at school, is simply what they're teaching them. Their brain is telling them, and their heart is telling them, the thinkers, I don't know about this. The ones who just want to complete and learn the information. I've got a daughter who does that. She just learns the information, regurgitates the information. I'm like, damn, you like a 4.5 student. But she's intelligent and smart because she hears me talk to her all the time about stuff like this. I just don't talk to you. I'm talking to everybody, okay? But the teachers are different. Go check out this book by Robert Kiyosaki, Fake Money, Fake Teachers, Fake Assets. I think it's Fake Assets, right? I think it's Fake Assets. Fake Money, Fake Teachers, Fake Assets. I got the book. I can grab it. That's all I got to say about it. I'm moving on. Hey, if you're listening to this, like, subscribe, follow for more content, please. This is how I'm able to do what I do. And it shows me that what I'm doing actually has some value to you. And I got more stuff I'm going to add for value to this because I want everyone to win. I believe it's just God's design for you to win. Some people will listen and they will ignore, but we're in a different shift right now between the economy, between the culture, between money. Things are shifting and changing. You can watch it or you can participate. Or you can watch and participate. I do both. Man. Oh, no. Yeah. All right, cool. I'm 5 minutes from this whole hour. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going over the hour already. Somebody go run and tell my peoples that he's over the hour. Drop a comment. Say what you got to say. I'm always interested in any of the chats. And if you vibing with me, freaking drop a coffee super chat. Just knock it out. At the end of the day, nobody should be left behind. This is what my clients used to get from me. And I'm like, can I get off the phone with you? Some of them made good decisions. Some of them just wanted to do what they wanted to do. And oh no, they get what they get. Like my grandma said, don't pitch a fit. You get what you get and don't pitch a fit. You do. Do what you do. I'm happy. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. That should be it. I'm thankful. And I always love to pull the weirdest real estate stories. So before we get to this last one where we're going to talk about flippers and why y'all shouldn't be flipping right now in this season unless y'all have some things in place and y'all see some things that are right, let's talk about this first because I thought this was insane. But it only happens in Chicago, right?
A young mom walks into her home expecting peace. Instead, she gets total chaos. Her windows shattered, her stuff tossed everywhere.
Yeah, inside, strangers weren't just in her home, but they were actually in her bed. And Tia has the video from this crazy encounter. Tia.
It is absolutely crazy. And as you can imagine, this video has gone viral on social media. And I know this sounds like a scene out of The Three Bears. Janice Miles says the strangers took over her first floor apartment and the two were so comfortable inside that they were actually sleeping in her bed.
Y'all the motherfuckers that broke in my crib 2 weeks prior. One of y'all did. Don't say no who, motherfucker. I work hard for my I got 3 babies.
Not the words you.
I work hard for my. Yo, they caught it easy with her. Real talk. My behind would have came. What? Hold on. Let's go. What? What's up? What's your? Invasion. Right? Home invasion. Call the cops. Blah, blah. Y'all be like, y'all can hold that against me. Play it back. I don't care. At the end of the day, I feel for single moms like that, man. I feel for that. She's a single mom. All she trying to do is work. And then you breaking into her shit. And I'm like, God, how long does this last? How long you got to be a torture to your environment? Just nothing but a bunch of YNs out there jumping through doors. And I bet a bunch of them ain't YNs. They ONs. Yeah. That's a new one. You run with that.
Would typically use on a quiet Sunday morning, but inside the South Shore apartment in the 2500 block of East 74th Street, Eunice Miles says she knew something was off.
I noticed that the lines were messed up. That's what made me come into the apartment.
Instead of occupying a church pew at 8:23 in the morning, 3 strangers were inside her home.
Oh, well, let's see. I don't want that bed. I don't want that bed.
2 were in her bed.
Get dressed. Go ahead. Just step back for oh, my God.
People she didn't know.
Damn, what are they doing in the bed? I'm like, in the house is one thing, in the refrigerator, on the sofa, in the bed. What are they doing in the damn bed, bro? 2 of them in the bed. What are you doing? You broke into her house to get box? To smash in her bed? You got so many other places you can do that. You did that for that? That's insane. And you know, I blame 100% freaking Chicago and the layout of Chicago. Look, y'all listen to it from Chicago. Don't come and attack me. Y'all know it's a bunch of YNs up there. Y'all already know that. We dealing with them already down here. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. In the bed, though? God, I got to throw everything out the fridge. I gotta exterminate the bed. I got to spray it down, Lysol it down. I got to Lysol the couch down. I couldn't live in there. I couldn't stay. I don't know. I don't know about you. I could not stay there. It would just, I would be walking in the door all the time with a pistol. Like, who went up in this joint? I just couldn't. I just couldn't.
Miles was already in the process of moving because she says her home was broken into before.
I got a call while I was at work, and they told me that somebody kicked down my door, my neighbor from the 3rd floor.
The 27-year-old says it's been overwhelming since she moved in. That was back in May of 2025. She's also a student and the mother of 3 girls, ages 1, 2, and 8. She says she's now forced to rebuild her life.
Oh, Shorty, listen. Oh my gosh, look, y'all gonna say I'm mean. But yo, somebody love her, man. I'm telling you, somebody love her. Somebody love her. And it's sad. Because the Negro who love her ain't there. That's a different topic. That's a different channel, different discussion. I'm not going down there. And it's sad because he should be there. Somebody love her. Somebody appreciate her. Somebody, fancies her. I'm telling you, whatever I say fancy, like I'm old. Yo! But real talk. Okay, let's go.
She says she's now forced to rebuild her life.
Girl, get the out. Get out. Hello, Chicago police.
Chicago police charged 2 people with misdemeanors for trespassing, a 46-year-old woman and a 63-year-old man. She says they've been squatting in.
See, I told you, Owens. I told you, and I ain't even seen this story outright. I only saw the first probably 10 seconds of this, 30 seconds, a minute. And I said, I love this story. Let me react to this live and everything. Dude, Owens, you see that? You see that's a O-N. What a 65-year-old man doing breaking into a house, 40-something-year-old woman breaking into to lay in the bed, and whoever in the front. So you got your kids right there watching TV in her house. You broke in and laid in the bed. You trying to smash in your box, and she walking on you.
Building because it's practically abandoned.
They were squatters. They were the squatters, yes.
So when you went to rent this place, did you know it was abandoned or nobody ever told you?
Nobody told me anything because at first it was with Atlas Management. So when I was dealing with Atlas Management, I signed my lease, and a month later, Frontline Real Estate knocked at my door.
Miles lost all of her kids' clothing, but in terms of her furniture, Chicago comedian Mojo Brooks heard her story and decided he would step up and replace it all.
And I did it, simply because in the video, I just kept hearing her say, I worked hard for this stuff, and I did this for my babies and stuff like that, and it's hard.
That boy is a silly cat, bro. Go check out that Tyler Perry show on Netflix. And I don't watch all this Tyler Perry thing. I was sitting down on the couch doing some work, and I said, "Oh, let me play this." Miss Governor, I think it is Lieutenant Governor or Miss Governor. That boy is a crazy cat. He is so freaking funny. I gotta flip the
out here right now.
Now that it's viral as wasn't so, I wouldn't say that I'm embarrassed, but I just want to spread awareness to people to protect your homes and do what you got to do, and just know you think you're not being watched, but really somebody is out there watching you.
Get cameras, get those doorbells, camera doorbells, get an automatic lock, open and close. This should be the standard. This is the way it is right now. This is just the standard.
So we did reach out to Frontline Real Estate Partners, the company responsible for maintaining that building, to ask about security concerns and reports of possible squatters. But so far, we have not heard back. As for Eunice, she moved hoping to give her children a safer environment and a better quality of life. Sylvia.
And you will not hear back from them. You will not hear back from Frontline. They will not say anything. Listen. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, Bo. It's a wrap, Bo. Bo is done, yo. It's not happening. Bo, it's not happening. It's not happening, Bo. You're not hearing nothing from them. They're not coming back to you with no, huh? Oh, our voicemail was full. We were out the office for 5 days. 5 years. Y'all got to watch these. Renting a place, and this is some free info, this is some free game. Renting a place is it's not just a place. The company that you're renting from, the people you're renting from are as important, especially in this season. So people getting foreclosed on, bro. I ain't lying. Big companies. Man, like, subscribe, follow for more company. Yeah. Let me accompany you throughout the day. Lunchtime break. Okay, I know people are out of their lunch right now. It's 1:43. My behind was just late getting up here. I'm pretty sure between 12 and 1. Some people take late lunch breaks. This is a lunchtime hangout show. Yeah, it's not. Even though I do get into a little bit more stuff than just lunchtime, Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is the last piece right here. Let's react to this. This is the worst TikTok home flips. Ooh, boy, I tell you. This is nasty.
Really the worst flip house I have seen all year. This tile is lipping so bad, I damn near killed myself walking through the kitchen. They didn't even finish installing the dishwasher. They didn't follow the manufacturer instructions with the faucet. Look at the cabinets and then the backsplash. Looks unlevel, right? Yeah, well, that's because it is. My favorite part is
did you see the faucet? You turned it inside and then the water turned on. You didn't turn it towards you. You turn it towards the wall and the water turns on. That's silly.
not that they used inappropriate fasteners, but how many pilot holes they had to drill because they couldn't find the stud the first time. Let's use all the fasteners. Rather than installing an actual light switch. And do you see that bulkhead? No joke, this phone is at eye level. That's gonna hurt. I'm really glad they replaced the floor drain when they did the new tile floor. Well, at least they installed this sink correctly. Never mind. Oh look, a little bit of paint overspray on the breakers. I see they at least replaced the missing screws in the panel. Oh yeah, by the way, that's an improper screw. So, sharp, pointy screws are never a good idea and are actually prohibited in electrical panels. Didn't even bother to install a cover. That's, random. I just found this by accident. Because handrails are for losers. That window well is non-egress compliant. Never see gaps. Ever. We don't even have vent registers, like... Anyway.
Is that the floor vent? Dang, that's the floor vent. That is evil.
In this bedroom. I mean, It looks like they may have run new HVAC ducts, but didn't do anything to the flooring. That's weird. Well, there's some damaged drywall already, but it's painted freshly, so I guess today we paint drywall, we don't fix. They did a really good job grouting.
Today we paint the drywall, we do not fix it. No, this is not for you to fix. This is for us to paint over and cover. Best job you will ever see.
Time. Flippers be flipping. Didn't even bother with the transition strip right there. And before any of you ask, yes, the toilet's loose. At least there's a new bathroom vanity, but the plumbing is 100% wrong. Not supposed to do that. So that is actually causing a water leak. Let's go see if we can find it downstairs too. So this bulkhead is directly below the bathroom upstairs. And as you can see, we do have a leak that follows the drywall seams all the way down to right there. Yep. Oh yeah. So the panel is off and you can actually see all that backsplash water is coming all the way down. All the way down.
Would you like to buy this house? Come on, let's for real. Would you like to buy this house? Is this like where you would want to live? Like, cause you flippers, if you're somebody you're aspiring to flip and you're watching this, take your lessons from this reaction. You need to work with people that already know what they're doing. You don't need to get out here and pretend to flip or think you're doing HDTV. You're not. You're giving somebody a hazardous place to live. This is a skill. This is not something that you just watch on TV, you go do. This is not selling sunset.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I'm on one of the
Splash water is coming.
seen in quite a while. Looks good, right? But this is obviously an illegal addition. I'd show you outside, but this was built below grade, so that's going to be fun when it rains heavy. In our garage, this water heater that red tagged, corroded to hell.
Ooh.
Not functional because the gas is not even turned on here.
If you're gonna flip a house, please just if the water heater looks like that, just switch out the water heater. Just switch it out. See, some of these guys, they spend so much money cutting corners. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. And if you need a loan to actually flip houses, look at the description below. We do those. We do all 50 states. We can help you out. Some of the best lenders in the game. Yeah.
But this is the part I wanted to show you, actually. So this is ready to move in according to the flippers. It's our furnace. No gas line. No exhaust vent. AC is not hooked up. As a matter of fact, there's no condenser unit outside. Inside there is a whole bunch of rodent droppings, damage, and then up in the attic, this is all our ductwork. This is a.
If you wonder why we laughing and you have no idea, a duct is supposed to run from where he's pointing to right there, this little circle portion, over to that drain out. So in your attic, it runs from one portion to the next and it drops down, it plugs in. That's how you get circulation going to different parts of your place. I've seen it before when the duct work wasn't done correctly or not connected. And dude, I as an agent, as somebody showing so I tell my people, listen, this ain't for you. If you see something like this and you're buying a house, This is not for you. I don't care what the house looks like, how beautiful it looks. You're going to experience some issues when you move in.
Disaster. No two ways about it.
This might be the worst flipped home ever. Check out this microwave. This flipper put the screws right through the cabinet and then into the actual microwave. And he did it for all of them. And look at that huge gap between the microwave and the cabinet. This is so ratchet. All right, it keeps getting better. Notice there are no outlets above these counters, and the counters and the cabinets aren't even screwed to the wall. So no outlet over here either, and the cabinet is not secured to the wall. That's super blast mode. So you can see the head and the faucet are on at the same time. And then if you pull the diverter, super blast mode, pulling super dirty. All right, I'm gonna give the flipper credit for this. This is pretty cool. Obviously the door was too wide, and I'm not sure what he cut these with. It looks like he cut this door with a pair of scissors. And then they just gave up on the plumbing and the crawl space. They were like, fuck it. It is 4:59 on Friday. We're going home. Shit, somebody's turning on some water, and it's totally flooding this crawl.
Wow. I'm just talking to you from a guy. At one time, I think I had $1 million+ worth of money in flips out at one time. And damn. This is bad. This is destructive. This is what you don't want. This is what you don't want. And it comes from hiring bad contractors, honestly. And some of you guys are going to like it. I mean, I'm not even going to go down that road because y'all can't even handle it. Some of y'all can't even handle what I would say concerning this. But it is about hiring bad subcontractors. Just because people say they can do the work on a place, don't mean they can actually do the work on a place. And I've learned that the hard way too.
Space. What a freaking mess. Oh my goodness. This is so bad. This is what happens when you buy flip, guys. Be careful out there.
What's up, man? How you doing? Check this out. Oh my gosh.
Oh, is this the one that...
Yeah, oh yeah. Come check this out. Watch this. I don't know what they're doing, but look at the flooring in this house. See all those lines? And then look, like over here, ooh, you can see down to the subfloor.
Yeah. Ooh.
It gets better.
Dang.
I don't know what they're doing. We're going to have to rip some things out, but check this out. Isn't that wild?
They say you can lay
wow.
on top of linoleum.
That's fine, but look, it's like all coming up.
Yeah.
And they just did it right before posting the house for sale. And when I went to make the offer.
Wow. When you do floors, those panels are supposed to line up correctly going down. It's supposed to shuffle. I don't care if you walk into a house and you like everything about it. If that flooring is wrong and you can see the subfloor, you better believe that the electrical and some of this other stuff is wrong. Nobody comes in and just F's up the subfloor. They screw up everything. Everything. Not just one thing. If they have a subcontractor, if your contractor has a subcontractor and one of them does that, you can guarantee the one who did the electrical and the plumbing is screwed up too.
I was like, hey, we got to budget in a remodel. And they're like, no, you can put your own touch to it, but we're not going to change the price. I was like, no, it's not your own touch. It's redoing everything you did wrong.
Wow.
I know. So I'll get to ripping this stuff down.
Okay.
But yeah, I told them inspections are today, so we do what we can.
I think this is the worst flip that I've ever inspected. I get the question in the comments a lot. Has there ever been a house that has been so bad and you felt so unsafe that you just didn't do the inspection or you just left? This inspection was one of those places where I didn't even want to be in the house. Just to give you a little heads up, little preface. When I walked into the utility room of this house, I could smell propane. And when I looked down at the propane line coming in from the outside, I can see blue painter's tape wrapped around the propane plumbing trying to stop a leak. When I asked the seller if the range worked, because when I turned it on, it didn't ignite, he walked over with a torch and said, "We light it with a torch." And I'm thinking to myself, I can smell propane in the house, and he's just about to light up a torch. And I'm like, "No, sir. No, don't light that." So at this point, like, I'm ready to get out of the house. I walk in and I'm looking at the furnace, and right in front of the furnace, 3 inches away from the furnace, is a plastic container, like tank, full of heating oil or diesel fuel. And they've just got the line to the burner, the furnace, just dropped right into this tank. As I looked down at the furnace, I could see carbon deposits all over it and areas of soot and discoloration. So I could tell that the furnace wasn't operating properly. And I'm looking up, and there's Romex running through metal studs with the knockouts with no plastic bushings or anything. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, this place is so unsafe.
Everybody says they want.
When they started with the propane, that's enough for me. That is way more than enough for me. When that propane is leaking, when that gas is leaking, propane. When that gas is leaking, when they started with the gas, everything has to be turned off. Nothing can be turned back on until those leaks are fixed. That is the worst part of when you flip and you find. I mean, I flipped and I found some crazy stuff, but a gas leak like that covered with tape? God. You'll kill everybody, including your subcontractors. They'll kill themselves. They'll blow themselves up. They will. The worst. This. I hope this helps you, because I suspect there's a lot of flips out here on this market. And as the market inventory tightens, we're going to see more and more mom and pop flippers flip projects and resell them because there's low inventory. And these institutional investors, they do it worse. Trust me. I mean, I bought a house from Open Door, and I found a sponge in between two metal lines going over metal water lines. And every time you would turn on the water, it would go. You're like, what kind of noise is that? They as bad. Open Door, Offer Pad, they as bad as some of these mom and pops.
Get into real estate by doing fix and flips, but they have no idea what the market is actually doing in the area they're trying to flip in. Exit strategy, no comp research, literally just going to YouTube. But YouTube doesn't always have all the answers. They have some, but not all. I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, right now in the Houston area, fixing and flipping is not worth it. Spending $250K plus to acquire the property, $80 to $100K to renovate it. You got holding costs, permit delays, contractors you got to chase down just to maybe walk away with $30 to $50K. The market don't shift if you're in mid-renovation, if it appraises right, if it even sells. Too many variables, too much guessing. Not enough return for the stress. So if you were to play it smart in Houston, you would focus on new construction and buying and holding. Yes, you would build it and rent it, or you would just buy a quick move-in home, ready to go, brand new already, and again, rent it. Why? Because you want assets that hold value, appreciate over time, and give you cash flow with minimal repairs. Brand new homes mean no major maintenance for like the first 10 years. Higher rent premiums, higher quality tenants, equity that grows without you having to do any damn thing. You should be buying and developing zip codes, targeting where people want to live but inventory is low, building where builders are already betting money. You play the long game, because ownership without longevity is just a hustle. And the goal is to build what? Wealth. Oh yeah, flipping looks cute on camera. It does. But if you're really trying to invest and not just experiment, then you need to be talking buy and hold. You need to be talking new builds. Give me Houston plays. If you want to learn the zones that are targetable, type of builds you need to be buying, how to start securing real equity.
And she's not lying. You consider this real quick. You only going to make $30K off of that $300,000. She's not lying. To get that done, you're gonna risk $300K. You're gonna put, and people don't get it. To get a loan, sometimes you gotta at least have a good amount available for liquidity. When I say a good amount, if you getting a $300,000 loan, which I don't know why you flipping a house that's $300,000 if you've never done this before. If this is your first time out the gate, that's not where you want to be. I got a client right now, she's sticking at 200, and I want her to go lower. But we know that is not enough inventory out here, and we're looking at off-market deals. And by the way, you can always check out my off-market property list for Georgia and get updated every time one of these fly off-market raggedy behind houses come available that you can buy, and you can, I would say, hold it. I wouldn't even say flip it, because you're going to end up putting, if you buy a house $200,000, you can be in it already for about 50, in some cases 60,000, just to buy a $200,000 house. And if your math is good, praise God for you, you're going to make that 60K back plus double, quadruple. Now, I'm wondering, it's so many different ways to make 60K. Why do you have to take the risk of tying your money in there, putting it on the market, and one of these, you're competing now because it's a buyer's market. Buyers are picking and choosing what they want. Trust me, I had an investor. This one had 5 offers. Well, 5 contracts. 5 contracts, and they all fell apart. He's still trying to get rid of that mug. He had to end up leasing it out. Because at the end of the day, you're too far in. You're too far in to cut it. No, it's way too hard. You need to cut. I'm sorry. My mind just be going. But you risking too much to get too little. It's not enough. It's not enough. Your deals, I respect those people who do flips, and they may do 1, probably 2 a year. And those 1 or 2, the margins are so freaking large, and they will sit and wait for the right flip, the right location, right timing. I said this is as much of a skill as anything else.
It's cute for content. Buy and hold is a whole different ball game. Get locked in or get left behind.
Would love for the guy who installed this to explain to me how this works. So the water comes down here, comes through here, goes up and over, and then up through there. This isn't even the same trim all the way around the door. It's not even close. Found out where the missing piece of door trim went. That looks like it could be it. How mad would you be when you set your dinner down on the counter and the whole thing just flipped over on you?
Well,
no.
I just drained the upstairs bathtubs. That's not good. Well, guess I'll drain it down here.
And just oh man, it's coming underneath the cabinet and freaking wetting the floor. Dude, I can't even. Not every house needs to be flipped. You don't need to do flips. Just, oh God, Lord. That's the contractor right there. That's somebody who paid and I've seen it before. I've seen them pay contractors, and then they call us, ring, ring, ring. Hey, we want to sell this house. We heard you buy houses. Let me see what you got. Wow. Why is the oven vent over the freaking sink? Yeah. It was the contractor. I was away on I traveled for work, so I was away. And when I came back, it was there. And we getting foreclosed on by the lender. In 30 days. Oh no. Yeah, I'm laughing because of the stupid things people do. Because the need for money will make people do stuff like this.
To make matters worse, right on the electrical panel.
Ooh.
Oh! Yep.
Lots of people watch HGTV and think, I can flip a house. Let me just partner with someone I don't know and start. This is a prime example of what happens. This was a partnership, completely went south. You can see the work is absolutely shit. Look at these edges. I guess no one had a fucking chalk line that day, and they were like, you know what? Let's just wing it and try to... When you're hiring contractors, you need to make sure that they actually have the skills to get the job done, because crappy cuts and finishes will kill your resale value. Like this board right here, it's not even around the 4x4. The cuts are crooked. The deck is not square. They got siding up here screwed in instead of like actually having soffit. J-channel, that's not even what it's used for here. I think they ran out of money. This was supposed to be a bathroom. So now it's half-ass finished. We got an exhaust fan in the ceiling. Make sure you know what you're doing.
So that's what they do. That's what ends up happening. You end up running out of money. And what's worse is that some of y'all will actually buy this or moving to it as a rental. And I feel sorry for the people who move in as a rental more than the ones who buy. Because as a rental, the price was probably good. You want the location. You like the aesthetics. But damn, nothing works. Now, if you buy in it, at the very least, you can fix what's there. As a renter, imagine trying to get your landlord to fix his crappy job in rent. Boy, the worst.
Check this out. You've got the kitchen, brand new fridge. Like, I'm sorry, how are you supposed to fridge? What? Let's go to the laundry. We'll go down the really strangely steep stairs. There's your laundry. In the walkway. You just bought your first house. Ah, what a view through your broken window. It's awesome that they installed a tankless water heater. I'm all for that. I'm all for modernizing. This tankless water heater requires 350 amp circuits. They installed 350 amp circuits. Trust me on this, the wiring to these, correct. The problem is, this whole panel is a 100 amp panel. I don't know if you know this, but that water heater draws more power than the entire panel has available just because you want to wash your hands.
This is going to be my...
And what's bad about that, because I had a house, I bought a house when they did that. Every time don't have too many items on in that rental. It was an Airbnb too. They'll call you, say, listen, we can't get the water cold, hot. I'm like, why? Because it's constantly tripping off the water heater. Constantly tripping that off because it's over surging. It's not just the flippers. You got to make sure that when you buy it, you do a home inspection behind these rehabbers, because some of them are shitty, bro.
Official first WTF video. If I could walk through and just ring a bell that goes, shame, shame, dripping paint. Floor's not flush. Look at that oven install. And it doesn't even go anywhere except for to an unfinished basement. Look at that paint. I mean, it's perfect, right? I mean, he definitely had to have been drinking. Because look, can't even open a dishwasher. Oh, don't worry, it's not even mounted. Also, let's wash our brushes out in the sink, the brand new sink. Because, you know, I mean, just look at that. I mean, that's A+ painting job on that. Piss on the toilet seat. Cool, cool. You know, let's just leave everything dirty.
And while they did paint the whole house, I like that they left this little remnant of the old house. All the painted over mouse poop and stains from when the roof leaked and all that great stuff. I made sure to leave it in here just so you know, so you can appreciate what you have.
Nasty, just nasty.
And we're not even going to talk about how none of this works. It's all right. Who needs that? My personal favorite, you know, the Harry Potter lock or the Nanny 2000, whatever you want to call it. The one that just, you know, put them in there. Ain't got a problem. Don't worry that they didn't screw it in all the way. It's all right.
Did he just call that the Nanny 2000? Oh, gosh.
And then probably at some point when they got this house, they opened up this closet and saw all this and, you know, decided to do nothing because, you know, who knows? Oh, yeah, see? Just do nothing. Do nothing. Here. Leave it back how we found it. Wow, water heater doesn't work. They didn't bother to fix that. You know, those are luxuries. You know, those aren't requirements. And, you know, we got door paneling that's messed up and tons of holes and even hinges that just don't exist, aren't attached.
They don't exist. Hey, man, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I appreciate you guys joining me for this lunchbox lunchtime hangout. We are definitely an hour and a half in. This is what we do. Show some love, and I'll show you some love back. Leave some comments. You definitely get a heart. You did some comments from me. I hope this helps somebody out. Remember who you are, and forget about what these losers say, man. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.